Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ima Fatima Azahra binti Razman. Before we proceed to our presentation, which is International Economy of Japan, I will introduce you my amazing group member.
My name is Cik Nurifah Najwa binti Cik Gozminza from Group 6.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Marsila Masri binti Mahdi.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nadia Safiah binti Zulkifli.
Hi and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today, I'm going to present an interesting subtopic in Chapter 7 about protectionism in Japan. So, we will see the general meaning of protectionism. What is protectionism? Protectionism is a policy practice by a nation on other nations in which certain barriers are imposed on trade for economic or non-economic reasons. Here, we list down the reasons for protectionism. The first reason is to reduce balance of payment deficit, or also referred as current account deficit. Deficit means import is greater than export. A country spending more money rather than receive more money. So high import will lead to deficit in the current account. As we can see on the screen, the Japan's 2018 balance of payments. We will focus on the trade balance, exports and imports. Based on the table, export shows a greater than imports. Exports, 81207 yen billion is greater than 80019 yen billion import. That lead to trade balance surplus of 1188 yen billion. The second reason is to increase in government revenue. How government can increase their revenue? As for Japan, Japan maintains tariffs and restrictions on imported goods, including agricultural items. Now, we can see the tariff rate in Japan 5 years data. This is the simple average rate that Japan applies to all products. As we can see, for the year 2018, it was 3.8%. For the year 2017, it was 3.7%. For the year 2016 and 15, it was 3.5%. And for the year 2014, it was 3.8%. The third reason is to protect infant industries. Japan was successfully implemented infant industry tariff protection after the World War II. So what is infant industry tariff protection? It means that infant industries, new industries in Japan, need to be protected against any competitive pressure as they can't compete with well-known industries until they mature and develop economies of scale which can rival their competitors. Next, the reason is to diversify the economy. Japan producers will have to diversify their goods rather than focusing on producing certain goods only. In Japan, industrial sector is highly diversified. Electronic sector in Japan. Japan is home to several of the world's largest manufacturers of electronic products. Electronics companies based in Japan such as Fujitsu, Hitachi, Panasonic, Sony, and others. Lastly, the reason why a nation should impose protectionism on imported goods is to create more job opportunities. This point these reasons related to the previous reasons the reason to diversify the economy. A country will have more economic sector to be open, and this will help to create more job opportunities. In addition, one of the major policies in the Japan's growth strategy is to bring talented workers, including more foreigners and women, into the labor force. So that's all for the reasons on protectionism.
Hi, now I will present tools of protectionism. The first tool used by Japan is tariff. A tariff is a tax imposed by one country on the goods and services imported from another country. Goods imported into Japan are subject to customs duty and consumption tax. In addition to consumption tax, certain other internal taxes, such as liquor tax, tobacco tax, etc., are also applicable to dutiable imported goods. The first one is consumption tax. Consumption tax is imposed at the rate of 10%, at standard tax rate or 8% reduced tax rate on, in general, all goods imported into or manufactured in Japan. The amount of consumption tax payable on imported goods is calculated on the basis of the customs value of the goods plus customs duty payable and, where applicable, other excise taxes payable. The second one is other internal taxes. When certain kind of goods such as liquor, tobacco products, petroleum, and LPG are imported into Japan, excise taxes are imposed as stipulated in the respective law concerned. In these cases, the amount of taxes payable is calculated based on the quantities of the imported goods. The third one is general rate. General rates are set out for all goods in the customs tariff law. They are basic rates and remain unchanged unless the situation substantially changes. The fourth one is temporary rate. Temporary rates are laid down for certain kinds of goods in the temporary tariff measures law and are applicable for a certain period of time in place of general rates. They are lower or higher than general rates depending on the circumstances or products. The next tool is embargo. Embargo is an official ban on trade or other commercial activity with a particular country. Due to coronavirus outbreak in 2020, it will deny entry to foreign nationals traveling from a total of 73 countries and regions, or about a third of the world, expanding its ban to include the Americas and Africa due to the continued rise in global coronavirus infections. After 5 days, Japan expanding its entry ban to India and 10 other nations as part of efforts to contain the spread of the new coronavirus. Japan will maintain other border control measures, including visa suspensions and a 14-day quarantine period for all arrivals, including Japanese nationals, until the end of June. Because of that, the number of foreign travelers to Japan has plummeted since the measures were introduced, dealing a heavy blow to the world's third largest economy. The next tool is quota. Import quotas are imposed on various items, including certain fish products, certain organic chemicals, pharmaceuticals, explosives, rubber adhesives, military equipment, and firearms. Imports to Japan slumped 26.2% to Japanese yen 5.02 trillion in May 2020, after falling 7.1% in the previous month. It marks the 13th straight month of drop in purchases, mainly due to lower imports of mineral fuels, negative 57.5% versus negative 32.9% in April, led by petroleum, negative 78.9%, amid lower prices. Also, imports of machinery fell 12.6% after a 4.3% decline. The last tool is subsidies on export. Exports from Japan slumped 28.3% to Japanese yen 4.18 trillion in May 2020, compared with market consensus of a 17.9% drop and after a 21.9% fall in April. Sales fell from the 18th straight month and at the sharpest pace in more than 10 years amid weakening global demand and the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Sales of transport equipment plunged 60.3% after falling 45.5% in the previous month, dragged mainly by motor vehicles, negative 64.1%. Meanwhile, exports also fell sharply for machinery, negative 23.2%, electrical machinery, negative 13.7%, manufactured goods, negative 23.8%, and mineral fuels, negative 72.6%. Among top commercial partners, export to the United States plummeted 50.6% after dropping 37.8% in April, whereas those to China fell by a softer pace of 1.9% compared to a 4.1% drop. That's all. Thank you.